Kittykats can read. Hello everybody, my name is Katie and today I'm here with my December wrap-up video. Woohoo! Even though December was the festive season where everybody is running around like headless chickens trying to buy their presents, I was working throughout it. I ended up being ill around Christmas, which resulted in me being in a reading slump. So I was like, honestly, how the hell am I gonna cope this month with reading? I don't know how I did it, but I managed to read 14 freaking books. Like, oh my god. Every month I always aim for 10 books. So to go above and beyond that to infinity, that is just like, it's so good. So I'm really super proud of myself. But now I'm going to reveal to you the books that I read in December. All of my written reviews will be linked in the description box below as I reviewed those on my blog. If you would like me to do a particular video review that I haven't done, then do say so down in the comments and then I will do it, because I'm leaving this up to you guys. Numero uno book that I read in December was The Edge of Always by J.A. Redmersky. This is the sequel to The Edge of Never, which is a new adult novel. It's the first ever NA novel that I have read and it was really phenomenal. I completely recommend for you to read that if you are venturing into the new adult section, and it's good. J.A. Redmersky has an absolutely fantastic writing style. She really attaches you and draws you in. The characters you will love. Now the sequel just continues on with the first book. It's much more emotional and it was really good. It ended so perfectly and it was just beautiful. So I loved the sequel and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in December was The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. Finally, I started this book a few months ago and it took me so long to just get through it. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved the writing to it. I loved the character Cassie. She told the story really well. I was really into the book. I was really enjoying it. And then it went to somebody else's perspective who I didn't give a flying crap about. And I was just like, what the hell? What the hell? I felt like I was a dog and somebody had taken my bone away. I was just like, what are you doing to me? You can't do that to me. But then it went back to Cassie and I was like, yes, bring me back, bring me back. But this book ended in such a way where so many questions that were left unanswered, and hopefully the sequel will contain those answers, so that's why I will still read the sequel. Don't get me wrong, I didn't love the book, but I still enjoyed it, and that is why I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read in December is The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, the first book in the Princess Diaries series, and you might be wondering why you're reading that, Kay, aren't you a bit too old for this series? I read this when I was younger. I ended up watching the movie because, you know, Disney is still awesome, and it made me want to reread the book, so I reread it and absolutely loved it. It's really nice to sort of get away and read something that you read in your childhood once in a while. So of course I loved it and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read an ebook called The Art of Falling by Jenny Keksarowski, and this is a really good book actually, because it's about a girl that is really into her best friend's brother and he's really into her, but they don't really want to get together because of the best friend, because they think that she just wouldn't like it at all. But even though they want to get together and they can't, it's just like you can see the tensions and everything, and there's a moment where they really get close and then they just spread apart like, what? But I was really interested in this story and I did really enjoy it, and that is why I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Forgotten by Kat Patrick, another Kat Patrick novel that I absolutely adored. She has such amazing ideas for stories and they're really interesting as well as just fulfilling, and I did a video review on this. It will be linked over here, and I just enjoyed it so much. Really do recommend the books, like, completely. So I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read an ebook called The Sound of Us by Ashley Poston. If you really like your books that are about music, like This Song Will Save Your Life for example, then this is definitely for you. This is about a band member who gets close with a normal girl and they become really good friends until the press finds out, and the press kind of ruins everything. But it's a really interesting story, completely gripping, absolutely loved it, it was so good, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Prize One by Kat Callen. I'm not entirely sure how her surname is pronounced, so I'm really sorry about that, but this is a book that is about hybrids and they end up escaping because they are captivated, and it's all about survival and being true to who you are, and I did enjoy it, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was a library book, and it's called Supernatural Carved in Flesh, and it's by Tim Wagner, and this is a book that is somewhere in season 7 of Supernatural, the TV show. But the book was a really good adaptation from the TV show because it's written just like how an episode would be, and Dean and Sam were portrayed so well in the book. I was just like, this is a really good book, and I enjoyed the general storyline as well. It was kind of creepy and eerie, and I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Next of all, I read Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan, and I was recommended to read this around Christmas because it's a Christmassy read, and it was really cute. It was cute and it's different. I like the general storyline, all the chasing around and hiding the dares book. It's like, yeah. The only thing I didn't like was the ending because I just felt it ended a bit too suddenly, and that's why I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars, but I still did enjoy it. 10th book that I read in December was A Ruby Red by Kirsten Gear, the first book in this series, and it's a book about time travelling, a time travelling gene, and there is a little bit of romance there, but it's just like, things don't literally happen until near the end though, so I liked that about it. But it's really interesting and I'm completely hooked on this book, so I really can't wait to read the sequel. But I love this book. I love the movie to this book. There's a movie, it's called Ruben Rot, it's a German movie. I just watched it whilst it was dubbed in English. It was really good. And so I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Milford. And this is a Christmassy sort of book, 3 different stories that kind of intermingle together, but they are about specific characters. I absolutely loved Maureen Johnson's story. John Green's story was a little bit of a letdown, and Lauren Miracle's story was alright. So overall, the overall score, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's still a really enjoyable Christmas read. Book number 12 was Shipwrecked by Siobhan Kerham. I'm doing a video review on this, so when it's done it will be linked over here, but that will be up tomorrow, so keep your eyes out for that. But this book's really good. If you like Sims Castaway, the game, it's really good. If you like Lost, it's kind of like Lost, and it's really interesting. All these sort of dance students are meant to go on a cruise ship. They end up crash landing onto this mysterious island where strange things are happening, and obviously they're just waiting for somebody to find them, and it's really good. So this is the first book that is in a series, so I can't wait for the sequel to come out, which is coming out this year, so I'm really looking forward to it. I really do recommend this book. It's just really addictive, like all the secrets and everything, and just so much mystery and suspense. It's just like, and then before you know it, it's the end, and it ends in such a way. We just really want to read the sequel, so loved it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, and I finally got around to reading this, and I did kind of like this book, but I didn't love it as much as everybody else has done. I did really like the storyline. I liked the Greek mythology and all the gods and everything. I thought that's really interesting. I loved how it just went straight into the story. The writing's really good, but I just didn't feel like I was loving it. Maybe it's because I was in the reading slump at the time, and I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe one day I will reread this and hopefully I will just love it a bit more, but I still really enjoyed it. It was really good. And the last book that I read in December, book number 14, was a reread for me because I ended up in a reading slump, and I read Jinx by Meg Cabot. The last time I read this was when it was released in 2007, and I really loved it then. It was just really nice to refresh my thoughts on it, and I did really enjoy it. Again, it's really cute. It's got like some sort of witchcraft stuff in it, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. So there you have it, everybody. Those were the books that I read in December. Please do let me know down in the comments if you have read those books or if you'd be interested in any of them. Any thoughts, any comments, please do leave them down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Katie and I will see you all in my next video.